Alaya's Stag Impact did over 10k to Raph. This ability can select up to 3 targets, has range of 5, and range height of 2, there is no escape. KT7 up here. Today, I will review and showcase the new Alaya. She is a part of the 3.5-year celebration, and they gave her one of the most insane group buff in the game. Simply put, she is the best physical DPS unit, hands down. Alaya is a new 100 cost lightning unit. She has a new unique main job that does physical strike damage, with Gunner and Operative as sub-jobs. She is not a limited unit and will be in the general pool after her banner goes away. These are the items we will go over today. Let's get started. We will start off with her TMR. It is an accessory. The stats are HP 222, Defense 8, Spirit 8 and 10 Accuracy. The ability is AP Auto Restore Small and Strike Attack up 25 for 3 turns. This TMR is okay, the stats are nice but I haven't found any use of it. Her base stats are above average overall. Nothing really impressive. Don't be concerned with her agility, she gets a lot of it from her board, can easily reach close to 120. If they give her higher base stats she would be too broken. Has the standard 3 move and 1 jump, with a support ability that can increase her movement by 1. Weapon type resistances are 20 to slash and strike, 10 to missile and 5 to magic. Has a negative to pierce, but it is not too big of a deal, as she is very likely to be behind a tank. Her ailments resistances are 10 to paralyze, 50 to charm and 50 to stun. 50 to charm is very good. She is a 50 faith unit, but it is still very good to have 50 resistance to charm. Moving on to her mastery and 140 upgrades. Typical elemental buff, and for her self-defense penetration 20 and acquired AP up 30%. I currently have her at 34 times reincarnations, and plan to stop at 40 times. In my opinion, she is the first unit that is worth resources at release without any discounts. The 140 upgrades are Accuracy 20, 10 AoE resistance, and her Stag Impact can select up to 3 targets instead of 2. That's her signature attack and it is crazy powerful. Next up, her fist weapon. The general ability is Strike Attack up 15. The additional abilities are Strike Penetration 20 and AP Consumption down 15. This is the first piece of equipment that has Strike Resistance Penetration. The additional abilities works with Alaya, Monk and Pugilist. With her mastery ability and this weapon, she rarely runs into AP issues. The assault type is the best, but the crit type is very good as well. Build 2 if you can. Now her support abilities, the first one gives her attack up 24% and defense penetration 40. Very straightforward. Put this on her at all times. The other support ability is accuracy up 25 and reaction block rate 35. These are great, but I usually go with another support ability from her sub-job. Her main job reaction ability is a counter attack, up to range 4. Has a 70% chance to counter incoming slash and magic attack. This goes off very often, and it is her best reaction ability. Next, her Limit Burst. It is an AoE attack up to range 4. First lower target's lightning resistance by 50, then deals damage large. The lightning resistance and peril will change depending on the number of units she is targeting. If there is only 1 enemy in range, the imperil will be at 60%. If there are 2 enemies, then 55%. And if there are 3 targets, then they will all get the minimum 50% imperil. This is the highest elemental debuff in the game. Her LB will do huge damage even to earth units. It does cost a lot of AP. If you don't have her vision card, you might want to consider turning her LB off. Continuing on to her buffing abilities. This first buff is the best active buff in the game. It is a cross-shape AoE around self. For the group, AoE resistance up by 30, slash resistance up 20. And grants everyone the Dispel Re-Raise effect upon hit for 3 turns. That's not all. It also grants her Courage, physical damage up 20% while Courage is active. Plus hate down for 1 turn when her HP drops below 20%. This ability is just out of this world. It has the highest priority, and because it gives her Courage, she won't run around and recast it. Her second priority buff is Self only. Grants her Protect and Shell for 3 turns. Also increase the crit damage of her normal attack and Paralyzing Strike. I usually have this ability turn off so she can use Haste. Now her attacks. The first one is Paralyzing Strike. An AoE up to 4 range, does medium damage and has 25% chance to inflict Paralyze. If her second buff is active, the chance of the Paralyze to land will increase to 45%. I like to turn this ability off too, because the AI will sometimes use this ability over her Select 3 attack, even though that does more damage. Okay, now this is her signature attack, the Stag Impact. Before damage increases her strike penetration by 40. Select up to 3 targets, deals damage large. It also cancels spells, and lower targets CT small. This attack is the best we have ever seen in the game. And it has a range height of 2, no one can escape. The range is huge, and the damage goes against opponent's single target resistance. And it has 4 use. Moving on to her low AP ability. Range 3, damage small, and attack up 40% for 3 turns. This is also one of the best low AP attack. The increased attack of 40 is awesome. After finishing off an enemy, she will deal more damage for the next 3 turns. That's just too good. Now her job level 25 attack. First break physical damage barrier, then deals 3 hit medium damage. She has so much offensive utilities, there are almost nothing she cannot do. Next let's go over her main job sub. She gets 2 attacks. The first one is a 2-hit single target, up to 3 panels away. Deals medium damage, and lower target strike resistance by 38 for 3 turns after damage. The other attack has only 1 range. Damage extra large with no additional effects. This ability can do some huge damage. Moving on to her gunner sub. She gets Concentrate, giving her range +2 and evasion down 5. And Missile Mastery, giving her missile attack up 15. The reaction ability from Gunner is Counter Shot. The 2 notable abilities are Vital Shot and Aim Fire. Vital Shot is a very good ability, it can knock the enemy back and dispel haste and AP auto restore. Aim Fire could be useful when pairing her with Lightning. I ran her Gunner sub for a bit, it is actually pretty fun, but her operative sub is better. Okay, next her operative sub. She gets Operative Intuition, giving her move +1 and hate down 3. I think this is her second best support ability. With movement of 4, she can reach a lot further on her turn 3. Most likely able to hit at least 2 enemies, plus this is a great way to deal with missile units. If you decided to give her 4 move, be mindful of her initial placement and agility. She can get baited to attack on her first turn, if she is slower than the enemy standing directly across from her. Go with her main job support ability too if you are not running Operative Intuition. The other support ability is Operative Dual Wielding, gives her evasion up 12 and acquired AP up 40. The AP up is cool, but she doesn't really need it. The reaction ability is Predictive Counter, her main job reaction is much better. I would only recommend to leave on Shadow Dance from her operative sub. The way I run Alaya, it is rare that she can get a 3rd buff off before she is in range to attack. But she would use it mid-fight when she can't reach the enemy. Alright, that's her whole kit. Next, her vision card. It is not limited and it is a good one. It supports Axe, Spear, Fist, and Glove. The stats are HP 267, Attack 158, and Luck 28. The party abilities are Slash Resistance 24, AoE Resistance 16, and Acquired AP up 50%. It is absolutely crucial for Alaya to have this VC for the 50% Acquired AP up. Same goes for Jaydenthecelebrated in a Spear team. And of course AoE Resistance is required for a team to function. The bestowed abilities are Attack up 10% and Accuracy up 15. Be sure to pick this up if you are going for Alaya or you want to run a Spear team with Dialdo and Glaci. The new Summer VC has 24 AoE resistance for Fist users, but this card is superior because of the acquired AP up. Next up are equipments and Espers. The new fist weapon is the best for Alaya. Strike resistance is getting very high, the penetration it has is needed. In the second slot, I like the Gangji glove the most for more damage. The Alex ring is very nice for more accuracy, but her teammates usually can take out evasion units. In her TMR slot, I highly recommend Haste. Either Bradley's or Sorrow's, those have some agility in the stats. The other two Haste TMR are Bronwell's necklace and Faris's boots. For Bronwell's TMR, the ability is Haste plus AP consumption down when Haste is active. It will help Alaya to dish out more attacks. Faris's boots will give her max HP up. It is not a bad choice too. If you don't have any Haste TMR, go with high agility. The best Esper for all physical damage dealer is the Dark Bahamut. Master Coral is very good for her as well. It has 20 agility, lightning attack up, and best of all, acquired AP up 15%. Then Odin and Dark Odin are also good. Now her Truststone. Vital and Luck will both work. I personally like the Vital set better, because I am not too concerned with accuracy. I rather have more bulk. Her teammates usually can take care of evasion units. For abilities, HP and Luck are must. The rest are meta dependent. I highly recommend Sleep Resistance and Ice Resistance for her. Melnia can inflict sleep. And Sword Red Mage with Howlet and SummerGlaciela can give Alaya some issues. On her attack side, I am using Attack set. Agility set is also good, but I want the damage, plus Strike Team has a 18% agility main VC. The abilities I have are Acquired AP up and Defense Penetration up. Attack up and Lightning Attack up. Crit rate up and Crit damage up. I switch between Reaction Block rate and Crit damage, depending on which Haste TMR I have on her. Moving on to sample teams. Team number 1 is my current quick pick match Strike team, with Alphonse and Edward. Alaya and Alphonse are pretty much irreplaceable. The third party member could be Perrine or Ural or even Snow depending on the matchup. Ural is especially good against Alaya, I will go over that later. Alaya is on her operative sub, with her main job support ability 1 for more attack and 40 defense penetration, and operative intuition for +1 movement and hate down. Dark Bahamut as Esper for maximum damage. The main vision card on Alaya is the free FMA card for crit rate 30, crit damage 20, and attack up 50 for the group. It also has 10% more attack and 5% agility from bestowed. And Beyond the Flames as sub for physical man-eater 15, crit evade 13, and missile resistance 10 for the group. Also 5% more HP and another attack 10% from bestowed. On Alphonse, he has the Believer of the Brotherhood as main for 18% agility, 16 single target resistance and strike attack up 35 for the group. The Zoma card as sub for 8% more agility and 12 slash resistance. On Edward, he has the new VC for AoE resistance 16, slash resistance 24 and 50% acquired AP up. The Inherited Wills as his sub for 34 reaction block rate, 14 strike attack and 20% max HP. In this setup, Alaya has 80 defense penetration, and her strike penetration can go up to 60 when she uses Stag Impact. Play around with the vision cards for Alaya and Edward to fine-tune their agility. There are situations where you want Edward to be faster than Alaya. This team has been the top team for a couple months in JP. It basically can take out every team until recently. SummerGlaciela with Howlet and Reagan can go toe-to-toe with them. The second team is a mono lightning team with Squall and Alphonse. My Squall is still at level 89, but this will be the team I would run when Squall is ready. Alaya has Lightning's VC for AoE resistance 20, lightning attack up 18 and crit evasion 20. 10% attack and 15 accuracy from bestowed. Dark Ifrit in the sub slot for 13 defense penetration. On Squall, he has his own card for the 20 single target resistance, attack up 25% and 20 strike resistance for the group. Since all 3 units can deal strike damage here, so I gave Squall the Inherited Wills as his sub for the 14 strike attack up. This VC also has 1 agility from the stats. For Alphonse, he has the Alaya vs Rach's card for 15% agility, and the very important acquired AP up 25% for the group. And Rams's card as sub for even more agility. Her defense penetration will be at 93 at all times in this build. Strike penetration remains at 60 at max. I will try this team out and upload a video as soon as Squall is ready. The next team I have is also a mono lightning team with Alphonse and Vega. I mostly just wanted to show Alaya's accuracy can reach above 170 if you build for it. Accuracy build is definitely not the best build for her in my opinion. She likely will still have a hard time hitting max reincarnated Euphies. But it would give you a chance to land a few hits for sure. Her ideal teammates all have sure hits, and that is why I much rather focus her on damage over everything else. I need her to do as much damage as possible to tanks and support units, so her teammates will start attacking evasive units sooner. In this build here, she has accuracy Truststone. If you really need to, you can give her the luck set to maximize her hit rate. Her accuracy is not as bad as some people said when she was first released. The Espers VC is on Vega for the single target resistance instead of Squall's card. I think FF8 will arrive in Global by the end of September. Esther's card can do the job if you decided not to go for Squall's VC. If you don't have Alphonse, Charlotte will be your best replacement. Lightning at 140 is a monster, and might be better than Vega. Resnick is still a great support, she will be a solid third member. I hope they will give Esther her 140 soon, she can really use some upgrades. The next team I have is a counter to Alaya. Ural is the perfect unit to go up against her. Her Fatal Oath will grant courage removal to allies and herself. Dialdo is here because he is supported by the single target resistance, agility, and AoE resistance VCs. Alphonse will work just as fine. If you can remove Alaya's courage early, there is a good chance you will win the fight. She will be everywhere. A mono-earth team could lose to a full strike team. Squall can be built to have very high strike resistance. He will be a good candidate for lightning mirror match. I will go over his kit in detail in his showcase video. I am not going to show her weapon group units and VCs again, but I will show some VC overlaps with the next generation tanks. Raph and SummerGlaciela can share AoE resistance VC with strike units. Maybe in the future, but for now, I don't recommend it. At the bottom are two units that can hard counter Alaya. Ural, as we just talked about. Her MA2 gives her strike resistance 20 and single target resistance 15. Plus her 140 gives her another 15 single target resistance. These scream counter meta. They have also addressed her agility issue with the +6 of her weapon. She will get +10% agility when her HP is above 80%. Also we have Cameral, a free MR unit that will come to the game. He is the king of Dispel and a strike unit. He also has Fatal Oath, plus he has Dispel Spread, so he can dispel courage from long distance. If you lack a third strike unit, he is the perfect substitute. I made a video for him a while back, I will put the link up at the corner. Be sure to get into at least 140 before the event ends. Now my final thoughts on Alaya. She is the best DPS unit in the game. Definitely a meta-defining unit. She is the Bradley of the 3.5-year anniversary. Being the first unit that have access to active strike penetration makes her a tier above all other strike units. Her select 3 target attack has huge range and can do very high damage. With her crazy group buff that grants everyone re-raise remove effect, you can take out top tier units such as Raph with ease. They made her kit super simple, yet super powerful. A full strike team with Alaya, Alphonse and Edward has a decent chance at beating Mono Earth. Beside Dialdo and Bradley, SummerGlaciela with Howlett and Reagan will be her biggest threat. But I would say that is still 50-50. You will have so much fun and win a lot with her. This is a unit that I strongly recommend everyone to pull for. Squall is an anti-strike unit and will pair very well with Alaya. But if I could only pick one, I will go for Alaya. If you have been watching my videos, you know I don't reincarnate my units much. She is the first unit that I feel like is worth the resources. Go for her, you won't regret it. Now the final part of the video, sample matches. The first match is taken from the last quick pick just ended a few days ago. I was ranked 109 and my opponent was ranked 6. Let's see how it goes. I will be at the bottom of the screen. In this setup, I need Alaya to be the fastest to cast her courage buff. It grants re-raise remove effects, AoE resistance up 30 and slash resistance 20 to the group, while she gets courage and physical damage up 20% when courage is active, plus hate down for 1 turn when her HP drops below 20%. My Edward has Aretha's TMR for the single target resistance up 25 group buff. Everyone has 4 move to close the gap faster. Alaya's second action, her TMR buff for haste and hate down. I turned off her self buff for this specific buff order. You will be seeing many different Alaya teams. The choice of your TMR, movement and buff orders will determine who wins in a mirror match. My opponent opted to use Alaya's Shadow Dance as her second action instead of a haste TMR. Alaya's turn, Stag Impact. Strike penetration up 40 before dealing large damage. It also cancels casting and lower target CT. My Alaya's HP dropped below 20% and hate down for 1 turn. Stag Impact again, took out Glaci and Edward. Then Alphonse continues the lightning strike chains. SummerGlaciela's damage reduction zone effect is really strong. I am already done with her 140 showcase video. It will be available as soon as she is announced in the news. That was a good win. Next up, against Mono Dark with Bronwell. This is from the last class match. I was ranked 300-ish. This time I needed Edward to be faster than Alaya. Since he did not have a group buff available to him, he will run straight up, then catch the re-raise remove effect from Alaya. Edward, protect and AP regen, then go straight up. Followed by Alaya's re-raise remove effect for the group and courage for herself. Alphonse has 4 move here to counter range units. This map is made for missile attacks. Having 4 move is huge. It can mess up your opponent's buff orders if they are not running missile. Both Edward and Alaya have haste here. It is so very important to have in the current meta. Be sure to pick up the new VC. Acquired AP up is necessary if Alaya is not using Shadow Dance. Because of Alaya's group buff, Alphonse just removed Raph's re-raise. Bronwell has surprisingly good damage and an awesome TMR. I will do a mini video for her. Alaya has 4 move and haste. She is able to reach Raph on turn 3 even though she started all the way in the back. Stag Impact did over 10k, goodbye Raph. That's her triple hit attack. First break physical damage barrier, then deals 3 hit medium damage. Huge damage from Bronwell, but it's too late. Haste already won me the match here. Next up is another class match, going up against Mono Earth. In this class match, there is no CT changes, so Bradley is much weaker. Melnia should be the next 100 cost unit release. I will have her showcase video ready when she is announced. The reason why Edward is my go-to third strike unit is because of Earth teams, and his ability to dispel all buffs upon hit. This is so valuable when going up against other hasted units. If the map is longer, it is definitely worth it for Alphonse to have move 4 instead of 12 extra AoE resistance. Play around with support abilities. This strike team can win against everything with the right setup. That's her LB. Since it is only targeting one unit, the lightning imperil is 60%. But against Dialdo with his debuff resistance, it is only 30%. It still did close to 6k to Dialdo. Her LB uses a lot of AP. It is debatable whether or not to turn her LB off if you don't want to run haste or shadow dance. Acquired AP up VCs is a very important determining factor. I usually leave it on during blind matchups just to prepare for this exact situation. Combining with 4 move, Stag Impact can reach a very large area. Love it when the camera turns. Alaya could have finished off both units with Stag Impact if she had the AP. That was a close one. If the map allowed CT up, I would have lost for sure. The final match of the day is against Mono Lightning with Alaya, Alphonse, and Lightning. The single target resistance buff from Aretha's TMR paid off big time here. That's the single target resistance up buff. Alphonse and Edward should be able to take a few hits before going down. My rotation got broken up here. Alaya did not get her haste off. That's the risk of running 4 move. But it's fine as long as they don't have haste. With Aretha's TMR, Edward and Alphonse survive Stag Impact from the other Alaya. Alaya really is a top-tier DPS unit and will be everywhere. Be sure to give her a strong consideration even if you don't have a good strike team. She will also shine in Mono Lightning. Squall is coming up. He will be great with Alaya. That's all I have for today. Thank you for watching. Have a good one.